What's going on, guys? In today's video, I want to go over the dropshipping method, and I want to go over, is it going to work in 2019? Is it working now? What are some changes, and how can you make money with dropshipping in 2020 as we're transferring into a new year? Now, if you don't know what dropshipping is, it's when you take a product like a mug, or what else we got here? We've got this big horse, this really cool carving thing here. Essentially what you do is you go and find specific products online from a supplier. You promote those products via Facebook ads or other traffic methods, and when someone purchases that product, you contact your supplier and they send the product out for you. So you don't actually touch the product, you don't even see it, you don't touch it, you don't have anything to do with the actual product itself. And you are essentially a middleman. So you get a profit. So basically, let's say you go and sell this mug for, I don't know, $20. Let's say it's a customized mug with some images on it or something. You sell it for $20, but you purchased it for $10, and you get a $10 profit. That's dropshipping. That's how dropshipping works, and that's why it's a very good business model, because you don't have to touch the product. Could you imagine if you had to go and buy 1,000 mugs? Well, then you would be spending a lot of money up front, and that's why a lot of people like dropshipping, because you don't have to spend that money up front. It kind of eliminates not all of the risk, but it eliminates a lot of the risk when it comes to starting the specific business model. Now, guys, I get a lot of questions about dropshipping, and we will go over those in a second. But what I kind of want to talk about is why it's so good for beginners. Because when you start a business online, there's a lot of businesses you can do, but a lot of them do require a big upfront capital. Like, for example, if you wanted to go and make an application for a phone, or you wanted to go and create a software, or you wanted to say go and build a product like a course. Well, the course one takes a lot of time, but you know, if you want to go and create a software or an application, that's going to take a lot of money plus a lot of time. Trust me, I've been there. I've built softwares. We have softwares that have taken 6 months to build and cost $100,000. We've had softwares that have taken a year to build and they've costed $100,000. So the best thing about dropshipping, it's a very good business model for beginners that have a low amount of money. But I must stress, guys, that it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. Okay, the results are not typical. Like, you're not going to get rich overnight. So you need to keep that in mind. This is a business that you slowly build up into something that can make you quite a bit of money. So the first thing I want to go over is dropshipping saturated? If you don't know what that means, it means that is dropshipping too hard to get into? Is there too many people advertising and dropshipping and making money? Well, what you've got to understand about saturation first is saturation is a good thing. And what I mean by that is, if there's a lot of people in the market space, dropshipping for example, and they're making a lot of money, well, that and it means that, you know, that it's saturated. Well, that's a good thing, because it means that a lot of people are making money. If it wasn't saturated, I would be a little bit worried. Now, saturation comes at different levels. Like, it could be to the point where something could be so saturated that it's extremely hard to make money from. Dropshipping isn't really at that point, but it has changed to the point where it is a little bit harder to start making money, but there's ways around it, and there's ways you can make money quicker and get above the competition, which we'll talk about in a second. So my opinion, dropshipping is, I wouldn't say the word saturated, I would say there's a lot of competition, but it's a good thing to have competition, because that means that there's money to be made in that specific industry or niche. But it is getting a little bit harder as we move forward. So on that note, what would be the best strategy to use when you're dropshipping? So first we need to talk about this step by step. So step number one when you're dropshipping is you want to go and find a platform where you can create a store. You want to do this before anything else, because you want to go and get that set up. So in my opinion, and the one that works the best for me, is one called Shopify. And Shopify will cost you $30 per month at the lowest level. Now, Shopify is a simple platform that you go and set up, and you can have a store set up in a few hours. Okay, let's say in one day you should be able to set up a store. Now, once the store's set up, you want to go and find some products. Now, generally what a lot of people ask me is, should I have a niche store? Should I have a general store? Or should I have a one product store? And I'll explain to you what these mean before we talk about getting a supplier. So a general store is a store where you basically upload a bunch of different products. It doesn't matter what niche they're in. When you're starting, I highly recommend you stick to a general store, because you have a lot more room to play with different products and test different things. Then we have a niche store. A niche store is based around a specific niche. It could be hunting, fishing, golf, tennis. Then we have a one product store. A one product store is based around a one product. So essentially it's just one product. So basically the homepage will be about one product, all the information is listed, and that's really it. So it's like a landing page, one product, and there'll be some information on the site about the product as well. So general store first. Then if you find a product on the general store that works very well for you, then you move on to either a niche store or a one product store. The good thing about a one product store is you build a lot more trust. It just looks better, and the more content you have based on one product on a one product store, if you're doing something like search engine optimization, It's a lot better to have a one product store because then Google can read all the content and rank you and it knows what that content's about. But we'll just put that aside because we'll just assume that you're going to run ads. So you want to create a store based on the fact that you're going to do a general store first. That's usually the case 99% of the time. That's what everybody does. Then they transition into different store types later on, depending on what niche or what product worked for them. This is very important. Don't try and do a one product store or a niche store right away. At least you know those products or niches are really going to work for you. So once you have the store set up, you want to go to somewhere like AliExpress, right? Which is basically a big website where you can find suppliers that send the product from China. The big problem with that, and it is becoming a problem, I'm not going to lie to you and say it's not becoming a problem because it is the long shipping times. So essentially, when you send a product from China to America, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, there's very long shipping times. It usually takes around about 2 weeks to 4 weeks. Now, I'm not saying don't do it because people do it and it works, but the problem is eventually you're going to want to find a supplier that can send quicker. So AliExpress is great when you're starting, but a good tip is when you go and find an AliExpress supplier, you want to find one that can send from America. So they have a warehouse in America. That's going to speed up the shipping times. Now, you're not always going to find this, so you might have to just settle with a supplier from China for now. Just when you're starting to get the ball rolling. You can also use applications like one called Sprocket, I think that's what it's called, or Spocket. This application will find suppliers in the UK, Canada, and the United States. However, the products are a little bit more expensive. But either way, you want to find your products on AliExpress or something like Sprocket, or on AliExpress, find a supplier that can send from America. Now we'll get back to suppliers in a second. How do you actually find a product that you know that you can make money from? Well, it's very simple. Just go out and don't copy, but mimic what's working. So a great tip to do this, you can use tons of tools to go out there and find products that are trending or popular. However, we want to do this for the lowest cost possible. If you go to Facebook and you type into the search bar, Facebook has their own search engine. A lot of you guys might not know that, but they do. And in that search bar, put in things like 50%, 20%, free shipping, and things like limited time offer. And what this will do is this will find products on Facebook at this point of time that are selling and are obviously making good money, because you can tell by looking at the stats. If it has lots of likes, lots of comments, hundreds and thousands of views, you know that people are obviously making money with these products because they wouldn't be spending the money otherwise in the advertising. Now, this method of finding products isn't always accurate. You might find old products and stuff, but when you're a beginner, it's a great way to go and find products that are working at this specific time, and then you can go from that. Now, the next step, guys, is you'll notice that when you do this, that pretty much everybody, 99% of people doing this, are running videos. So they basically got the product and it's like, in a video, people using it and stuff. Now, the reason people do this is because a video acts as a sales letter. If you can do a video that, is really nice and got the product in and stuff like that, and it kind of brings people in, and people get hooked onto this video, well, that's, you're selling the product via a video. Back in the day, I used to sell a lot of products with just images. Now, I still do that sometimes with testing. So I'll go and test products with a few images. If I get a few sales, then I go and create a video. You might be asking, how do you create a product video? That's very hard to do. There's a lot of ways you can do this. This is kind of like the beginner way. I don't recommend you do this once you start to get a bit more professional with dropshipping, but you go and take a bunch of images of this product from AliExpress and other places you can use images, and you go and use a software like Camtasia or a free video software application. I'll leave a list below in the description of the ones that I like. And essentially you can just mash all the images together, add some music, and then do it that way. Or you can go and pay professionals to do that. There's ones called like Ecom Vids, and they will actually get the product for you and they will make the video for you. Or you can actually order the product yourself and make the video yourself. However, you're not going to want to do that when you're testing because you don't know if that product's going to work. Now, the next step, guys, when you've found your product, you've got your store running, or set up, not running, you might be asking yourself, how many products do I put on my store? What I recommend you do is find like 4 or 5 products to test, okay? And then just put like maybe 20 products on your store, random products or products in the niche, just to fill it out a little bit. But you don't realize that people are not actually going to be going to the home page. They're going to be going to the page where your product is. So they're not, only maybe like 4 or 5% might go and look around the store. So it's not essentially very important how your store looks at the start. You're just going to be sending traffic to the page that has the product on it. And people are going to be going to that page. Another question I get is, won't people just go and find the product on Amazon? You've got to realize that when you're running Facebook ads and stuff, and someone just sees an ad, most of the time, if they want to buy it, they're just going to buy it. And you will get people that are going to search around and go buy it from Amazon and stuff, but that's just part of the game. Your video should be enticing enough to get people to purchase from your particular store. Now, the next step, guys, once you've set up your products on your store, you've found a supplier and all that sort of good stuff, the next step is to go and get traffic. So there's two ways to get traffic, and one of the ones that I actually recommend for beginners isn't Facebook traffic, it's Google traffic. So with Google, you can actually go and do what we call text ads. I'll leave a video below of a tutorial that I've done on this. You can use text ads and you don't need a video, you don't need an image, and you can simply just go and promote products based on specific keywords that people were searching. This is great for beginners. I will leave a tutorial in the description for that if you want to do that. However, Facebook ads is also good, but you do need a picture, or better yet, a video. You do probably want to be using a video. And what you can do is you can go and target specific interest. So if you are going to promote, say, I don't know, this horse, you could maybe go and target people that are into horses, right? Because this is a horse. So it makes sense to go and target people that are into maybe equestrians or into horses. Or let's say you are going to promote a kitchen product based on cooking, which is very popular. A lot of people make a lot of money doing this. Then you would obviously go and target people that are interested in cooking, kitchen stuff. So you can actually go to Facebook and you can target specific interests. That's the beauty of this. But what happens is a lot of people don't really understand how it works, and what they'll do is they will go and just spend $5 or $10 and they won't get a sale, and then they'll say this doesn't work, it's a scam, and they quit. The thing about Facebook ads, guys, and especially dropshipping, you've got to think about this for a second. So picture this. Let's say you're selling this horse for $30. Let's say you make a $10 profit, right? It costs you $20 to get this horse drop shipped out, sent out. So if you spend $5, you're not even anywhere close to what the product costs, right? So for example, let me put it in better terms. If you spent, let's say you spend $60, right? And you're selling this for $30, then you're double what your product is going to sell for. So yes, you would probably cancel that ad because you're running into the negatives, right? But if you are selling this product for $30 and you've only spent $5 or $10, you haven't even given Facebook enough time to find potential buyers that are willing to pay the money. And it doesn't even matter, like you're not even anywhere close to the profits that you're going to make anyway. So it's kind of like people get really, really scared and they spend a little amount of money and then they stop. You've got to actually put in quite, a little bit of money first. Like my recommendation will be have at least $500, even $1,000 minimum to start dropshipping for their testing and stuff. But the thing is once you find a product that's going to scale, so let's say this horse, right? Again, this is just right here, so I'm going to use it for an example. Let's say you spend $1,000 promoting this horse and you make that $800, you're down $200. And then you test it again, another interest, and you spend another $1,000 and you make back $2,000. You double your money minus the $200 that you basically were down before. So you've made $1,800 and then whatever your profit is. Well, now you've found a winner and now you can scale. Now let's say you scale this horse to $50,000 that you've made in revenue, and let's say your profit is like $20,000. You've just made back all of your money from the testing plus a lot more money. So the point of dropshipping is to test a various amounts of products, find the ones that are winning, and then transfer them into one product stores, and then transfer them into different Facebook advertising methods and scale them up. Then go back to your supplier and maybe do private labeling, or maybe find a better supplier that could ship faster. What I'm trying to say is when you're starting dropshipping, you're not, and this is for any business actually, YouTube channel, affiliate marketing, when you're starting, don't try and get everything perfect, okay? Do it one step at a time. You're never going to be perfect when you're starting your business, okay? You're not going to find the winner right away. You're not going to have the best looking store right away. You're not going to have a one product store straight away, okay? You're going to learn as you go. It can take time, but I highly recommend dropshipping, guys, as a good business model in 2020 because it is a good business model. It just is changing a little bit, It is getting a little bit harder. People, you can't just go and put up an image now and expect to make $1 million from that one image. With that one product. You have to do testing, you have to do different ad copy, you have to test different interests, and essentially in the end you will have to do a video if you want to scale to a lot of money. That's just the truth about dropshipping. However, I'm an online dropshipping teacher and I've taught a lot of students, and the thing is I've seen what can be done if you stick to it and you actually put in the work. I'm talking hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. However, results are not typical. Like something like 99% of people that start businesses don't even make any money online. but it can be done. And dropshipping is still a very viable method to make money online in 2020. Now, I understand this video, guys, didn't go into too much detail on how to actually do it. So what I'll do is I'll leave some videos up on the screen on the right that'll take you through how to start your own dropshipping business step by step. These are completely free. It's not going to cost you anything to watch these videos. Make sure you subscribe, tap that notification bell, guys. Leave a comment below if you have any questions at all. I'm happy to help you, and I'll see you on the next video.